Akasha. Thank you so much for being back here on my channel, or if you're new, welcome. But yeah, I want to jump right into it. You all, first off, I know it's been a while since I've been on here on social media, period. But yeah, it's for good reason. I've been reorganizing, restructuring, and all kind of good stuff. So that's going to be coming soon. But in the midst of this, y'all, I just stumbled across something that was just absolutely phenomenal. I was talking to one of my friends. She's a therapist, and I was trying to get back in contact with her because it had been over almost 2 years since we even, really got to sit down and talk. And I wanted to update her with how good everything has been going. And she ended up inviting me to this luncheon, it was a brunch for women. And so I was just like, okay, sure. If it includes food, I'm there. So I went, and okay, so first and foremost, it was all women, all black women. I walked in, I didn't know anybody outside my friend who invited me. So walked in, and the energy that I felt was very welcoming, very soft. It was just beautiful. It was a really nice energy to where you could actually feel comfortable. And so kept on, we got our food and everything, and finally the organizer, and her name is Tiata. I want to make sure I pronounce her name right. It's Tiata. Tiata. And she is called the Unity Brunch. And the purpose for her brunch was to bring together black women of different generations together so that we can become a unit, to unify. And she was focused on figuring out what it was that each generation could do to contribute to that, and look at different things that has in the past blocked us from that, and look at ways that we can grow together. It was phenomenal because I was not expecting that. And looking at the different generations getting up there, we had our Gen Zs up there. We even had an Generation Alpha got up there and got to speak her little mind. I was just like, oh my gosh. And then it was like I said, the Gen Z got up there handling, just beautiful. I'm a millennial. And so we had several millennials get up there, and it was just beautiful listening to, and it was so, I'm trying not to get emotional because that's what I had been looking for. I've always wanted to have that auntie that can help guide you, and listening to the other women, especially the millennials. I noticed that it was a trend, not a trend, but a pattern that I saw, that a lot of us didn't have mother figures, or lack that support in the maternal, that motherly support or love. And with me, that was really big because that's always been something that I've longed for in our community, because I see how valuable a wise black woman is. There's nothing that can touch it. Because I've had them before, but unfortunately things have happened to where they didn't stay in my life for reasons out of my control. Mostly out of my control. And to have access to them, and for it to be so welcoming and open. What was her name? Tanya TKO had a video, or made a post about older black women, how she was saying they were so valuable, they were a valuable resource. And if I can find it, I'm gonna post it on this video. But, and I had to write because I completely understood and I completely agreed with what she said. However, my problem was finding older black women who would love me. So it was I was always in a situation to feel like I was not good enough to be loved. And being in the space that I was, they was just so welcome. They was like, well, baby, you done found the spot. And it was, it was just amazing. And then, like I was saying, there was a Gen Z there. Like, I know how I am. I am millennial. You know how we are. Or I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I'm just like, just listening to the other millennials and then listening to me. I was like, ooh, they sound a lot like me. But we're bigger. We're quicker to talk. We're quicker to let stuff out. And so, like, a lot of times, it's, I guess because we come from the generation, a lot of our parents are Generation X, who, you know, they more complacent, they're stuck in their ways and all this kind of stuff, and keep your mouth shut, stays in the house, you know, basically conforming to tradition. And we're like the millennials, at least the part of the millennial, because I'm at the beginning of the millennial. Well, actually, I don't know how it is, but I'm, and put it this way, I'm somewhere in there, and the way I am is like, I don't conform. I can't, it's hard for me to conform to anything that I don't agree with. And actually, I won't conform to things that I don't agree with. And I'm quicker to speak. And it's like whenever I speak, because it's so packed with passion, it's like fire. And it reminds me of Dangerous Minds. You know how you had your several different groups, but then you had one group that was like, whenever they opened their mouth, it was like fire. They was breathing fire. Like, that's what it feels like. And because of that, because of all that passion, because we don't mean any harm, it's just that we have a lot to express. And a lot of times it's backed by experience. Oftentimes negative experience, but sometimes those are needed to help us to learn and to see different perspectives. But anyways, not a lot of people can handle that kind of energy. And like oftentimes Gen X's is too much for them, or they misunderstand where we're trying to come from. But one thing that I noticed was the Gen Z's can take it. It's like, I'm over here like, and they over here like, unbothered, like, are you finished? Okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, I just love it. It's just like, and just seeing how all of us could work together to do something, to create something. And I was telling them, it's like, it was just such a profound blessing to be there. So she had this unity meeting on the portal day. And this is, like I said, this is something that I've been wanting to do for like years, to bring women together. I tried to start a group or all this kind of different stuff, and it just wasn't time. And I realized that there was different things that we had to go through. Like for me, it's like, I've just been through hell, honey. And that heat refined me. It was like it brought all the things, the impurities that was inside of me to the surface, so that I can identify them and remove them, or work with them, or whatever I needed to do with those things. I was able to, it brought it up to the surface so that they can be removed or corrected. And I say that to say is that, like, now that we're in this space to where we come together, just think about it. If we didn't have those, if we didn't go through that fire, if we didn't get refined. So now we're in a place to where we can unify without hurting each other, you know, or at least be able to better understand each other. Because it's oftentimes when you're able to see your own flaws and acknowledge your own flaws, it's easier to not be as judgmental towards other people, and to be understanding and more compassionate toward other people. So I feel like everything happened for a reason. I was trying to push for something that just it wasn't time yet. But now it's time, you all. It's time. And Miss Tiara, she did such a beautiful job. And plus, she's such a beautiful person inside and outside. She's the whole deal. And I'm wanting to know, like, what's going on in your neck of the neighborhood? Like, are you all experiencing these meetings, the coming together of Black women? This is very, very important. And one of the reasons why I feel like it's so important is because the time that we're living in, like, a lot of the research that I do is based on the history of Black women on this planet. Like, I go back thousands of years and study how we've evolved or changed, you know. And one of the main things that I realized in the beginning was that it was women. It was everything was matriarchal, everything. And we've gotten so far away from that. Because basically, you know, through patriarchal things or patriarchal societies that came and took that away forcibly. But when things were running smoothly, it was because of us. We had that unity. We worked together to bring that paradise here on earth. And it's like we're getting back to that. We're getting back to that unity. And first we had to take care of ourselves. We had to heal ourselves. And now that I feel like, and it's funny because that's why I've been like, oh, happy-go-lucky the past like month or two. Because I'm like, oh, I finally feel like I've gotten somewhere. I feel like I've completed a stage. I know I have. And then to get to the point to where the unity with others, you know, it is just so beautiful, other black women. And it just makes me love more and more on the black women around me. My mother, my sister, friends, family, children, all of them. It's just like, I'm just so, excuse my cat. I had to put them up so that you wouldn't see them running back and forth while I'm trying to record. So please excuse them. But yeah, I want to know, are you experiencing this in your neighborhood? And if you're not, is it possible for us to start doing that? You know, and what does that look like? Like, because like I said, that's one of the major things that we talked about was the vibe. It was such a beautiful vibe. It was such a beautiful energy there. And so making sure that the space that you create, you're drawing in the same women that's looking for the same thing, that loving, healing energy that's ready to uplift each other, fill in, pour into each other, and get poured into as needed, you know. So yeah, I want to hear from you. Send me a message, let me know. And you know, social media is okay, it's good, and you know, we utilize it for what it is, but I just think it's different being in person, actually having people that you can touch, where you can feel their vibes, body language. It's just different, you know what I mean? So yeah, I want to hear what you got to say. Drop me a comment, and I'll look forward to hearing from you all. And stay tuned because I got a lot of stuff coming up. All right, thanks. Bye.